and welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Mike.
I'm Rainbow.
And a very warm welcome to everyone to this month's Building Character unit. As usual, we will be reading a two-part article that is going to help us become better people.
Yes, that's right. In the Building Character article that we read each month, we like to learn some good life lessons about how we can improve ourselves to become the best that we can be.
Yeah, some recent articles, for example, have looked at how we can have better manners, how we can develop moral courage, and why we should always respect other people's comfort zones. Now, these are all good things to learn.
True, true. And we also have read about some of the things that we should definitely avoid. We've learned not to look down on others and not to blame people for things they didn't do.
Yeah, and so for this month's Building Character, our article is definitely in that group of things that we shouldn't do. And the basic lesson and what we will be learning about is right up there in the title, Don't Steal. Yes, stealing is wrong.
That's true. It is wrong. And if it becomes a serious problem, you can get sent to jail. And of course, nobody wants to go to jail. So we will get to our lesson in our article very soon, but let's find out all about today's new vocabulary right now. 今天的课文叫做 Don't steal 不要偷窃。很多小孩都有过偷窃的行为，不过其实当下他们可能根本不知道自己在偷东西。我们先来看几个单字。第一个单字 steal 偷窃是个动词。You shouldn't steal candy from a convenience store. You shouldn't steal candy from a convenience store. 你不应该偷便利商店的糖果。第二个单字 convenience store 便利商店是个名词 ，convenience 是名词便利 ，store 就是商店。7-Eleven is one of the convenience stores in Taiwan. 7-Eleven is one of the convenience stores in Taiwan. 7-Eleven 是台湾的便利商店之一。第三个单字 pocket 口袋是个名词。I carry my notebook in my pocket.I carry my notebook in my pocket. 我在口袋里带了一本笔记本。最后一个单字 purse 女生的皮包手拿包是个名词。Do you prefer big or small purses? Do you prefer big or small purses? 你比较喜欢大的还是小的包包呢？好了，我们现在看完单字例句，一起回到课文。
Johnny has a bad habit.He often takes other people's things without their permission. It started when he was just a little kid. One day, Johnny saw some cool candy at a convenience store. He wanted it, so he put it in his pocket. He didn't know it was wrong. Besides that, he didn't know he was stealing.Explanation 1.
All right, so the title of the article that we will be reading is Don't Steal. Right, stealing or taking things that belong to other people but don't belong to you, this is wrong. It's a crime in many cases, actually, and so we will learn that stealing is bad.Even from a very young age.
Yes, but unfortunately, some people find this a hard lesson to learn. And that's one of the main character. The main character of our story this month, his name is Johnny. As we learned in the first sentence, Johnny has a bad habit. So I think we know what this bad habit is.
Really? And what would your guess be, Rainbow?
Stealing.That's
exactly right. You got it with one guess. Yes, Johnny has the bad habit of taking other people's property. Or, as it says in the next sentence of the article, he often takes other people's things without their permission. Yeah, that's a good point. I think that's, stealing.
好，在这边我们加几个补充单词。第一个是 property， 所有物 ，permission 就是允许。片语 to have someone's permission 就是被某人批准做一件事。那 don't have someone's permission 就是没有被批准做这件事。比方说你拿了别人的东西 ，you don't have permission when you steal from somebody。
Exactly. Taking other people's things is stealing, unless you have their permission to do so. If they say that you can take their stuff, yeah, then that is okay. They might be giving it to you forever. I don't need this. Do you want it?
Yeah.
In which case, it's your stuff now. That's totally fine. Or they might be letting you take it and use it for a short time, in which case you're borrowing their stuff.
Yeah.
You have their permission.
Yeah.
But if you just take it without asking, yeah, that's stealing.
So now that we know that Johnny has this problem, a good question to ask would be, well, when did this problem start? Has he been doing it for a very long time, or is it just something bad that he started to do recently? So the next sentence of the article tells us it started when he was a little kid. Okay, so it turns out that he didn't start this recently. He has been doing it for many years. That's kind of sad.
Yeah, it is kind of sad, isn't it? His family must be quite worried about this problem by now. Well, to learn more about Johnny's problem, let's read on and see if we can get an example of this stealing habit of his. And so the next part of the article begins, one day, Johnny saw some cool candy at a convenience store. All right, so Johnny was probably quite young at this point, and like lots of kids, he was probably quite excited to see this delicious candy.
Yeah, and also like lots of kids, once he saw this candy, he was thinking about how to get it. So then that's when something went wrong. As we read next, he wanted it, so he put it in his pocket. Ah, that's where the problem was. If he had paid money for the candy first, then that wouldn't be stealing.
Yeah, well, you have the makings of a great lawyer. Yes, exactly. By just taking the candy from the store and not paying for it, yeah, that was stealing. But remember, at this point at least, Johnny was just a little kid. There is a chance that he was too young to understand that what he was doing was wrong. And even if he did, you know, being a little kid, he might not have understood just how much trouble this kind of thing could get him into. As it says, he didn't know it was wrong. All right, so yes, he was still very young.
And you know, even if his parents had told him, you shouldn't take it, he might not have really understood why. So as we reach the break, the article says, besides that, he didn't know he was stealing. Little kids understand ideas like good and bad, but maybe they don't really understand crimes and punishments. So Johnny was starting to go down the wrong path.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say, Rainbow. All right, well, to keep us on the right path, at least when it comes to our grammar, Daphne is here to tell us all about today's first grammar point. So let's go over to her for that, and then we'll come back to take our break.
大家好，我是 Daphne。今天的第一则文法是 besides that， 意思是除此之外。Besides 是介系词，意思是除点点点之外。That 是代名词，代指前文提过的事情。我们来看个例句。Traffic jams are a problem in my city. Besides that, the air is dirty. 我住的城市有塞车的问题，除此之外，空气也很脏。
Okay, as we promised, it is break time now, so let's go and do that, and then we'll come back to read more about Johnny and his problem.
As he grew older, his stealing got worse. When he wanted money, he took it from his mother's purse. When he was jealous of other people's things, he took them.
Explanation 2.
All right, so Johnny is getting some bad habits. He's stealing things that don't belong to him. It started simply enough by him taking some candy from a store. He was a little kid. It was some not very expensive candy. So, I guess it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, and if he had been caught right there, it probably would have stopped because a little kid who did something wrong and got caught, he could have been taught a very important lesson and maybe it wouldn't have happened again, and that would be pretty simple, right?
Yeah, it could have ended simply like that. And you're right, it happens all the time. Kids make mistakes, right? But for whatever reason, it didn't happen this way for Johnny. As we read on, it says, as he grew older, his stealing got worse. Oh dear, yeah, that's not what we wanted to hear at all. Well, we'll find out more about this growing problem after Daphne fills us in on the second grammar point of the day. What did he steal?
A car.
第二则文法是 get worse， 意思是每况愈下。get 是不及物动词，意思是变的。动词三态是 get、got、gotten， 后方接形容词 bad 坏的比较级 worse， 意思是更坏的、更糟的。get worse 字面意思就是变得更糟。我们来看个例句 ：The noise pollution is getting worse. 噪音污染每况愈下。
So, Johnny's stealing habit is getting worse. It started when he was little with him stealing candy from a store. So, now that he's more grown up, what is it? Is he stealing other kids' toys or their comic books or maybe their school supplies, like taking someone's pen or something?
I think it's a bit worse than that.
Oh dear.
Maybe a lot worse.
Oh no.
The next sentence says, when he wanted money, he took it from his mother's purse.
Whoa, he's stealing money now? Yeah, that's serious. That's like a real crime.
Yes, but it was his mom's money.
Yeah, sure, but it's still a crime. His mother might not take him to the police right away like another person would, but it's still bad enough that he could easily end up in jail. This is not candy.
That's true. 我们读到当 Johnny 需要零用钱的时候，他就会从妈妈的钱包里面拿，虽然只是拿妈妈的钱，但是没有经过妈妈的同意，所以这样就算是偷窃了，是会被送进去关的。这边再补充一个单词 jail 监狱或者是看守所，而 end up in jail 就是到最后会被抓走关到监狱里面。And even if he wasn't stealing money from other people, he was taking other things from them.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm afraid to read it, but Rainbow's right. And the last sentence of the article for today tells us about some of Johnny's other crimes. It reads, when he was jealous of other people's things, he took them. So he wasn't just taking money from other people, but he was taking their property, their things. Yeah, that's still called stealing, and he could still end up in big trouble. Wow. All right. Yeah. So we need to read about this at the beginning. We did read about this, I should say, at the beginning. Johnny has a bad habit.
Yes.
He's got a really bad habit, and it seems to be getting worse, doesn't it? Well, that's about all the time that we have for you guys today. We're going to continue the story of Johnny the young thief tomorrow. But for now, we need to visit with Daphne one more time to learn about the final grammar point of the day.
第三则文法是 A is jealous of B， 意思是 A 嫉妒 B。Jealous 是形容词，意思是嫉妒的，带有见不得别人好的负面意味。后方以介系词 of 引出嫉妒的事物。我们来看个例句 ：Max is jealous of the millionaire's wealth. Max 嫉妒那位富翁的财富。
All right, so we are all out of time. But please do come back to join us tomorrow when we hope to learn that Johnny's story somehow manages to have a happy ending. Yeah, well, we'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Don't steal. Johnny has a bad habit. He often takes other people's things without their permission. It started when he was just a little kid. One day, Johnny saw some cool candy at a convenience store. He wanted it, so he put it in his pocket. He didn't know it was wrong. Besides that, he didn't know he was stealing. As he grew older, his stealing got worse. When he wanted money, he took it from his mother's purse. When he was jealous of other people's things, he took them.
Hello everyone! Maybe you already know that Brazilians love soccer, or football, as it's called outside of the United States. It's Brazil's national sport. During the Brazilian Championship each year, everyone watches the games. Everyone also has their own favorite team. In fact, children are taught from an early age to support their parents' favorite teams. The World Cup also shows Brazilians' passion for football. This event happens once every 4 years. Brazil has won the World Cup title 5 times already. The first win took place in 1958 and the last one was in 2002. That's more World Cup titles than any other country has won. Thanks to talented players and coaches, Brazil has one of the world's top football teams. Also, thanks to Brazilians' love of soccer, young players dream of becoming famous professional athletes one day too. Here is more information. Extremely. Northern Canada is extremely cold. Rule. You need to learn the rules before you can play chess. Equipment. You can find camping equipment in that store. Compete. It is difficult for us to compete with the best team. Medal. Phil won the gold medal for the swimming competition. Lead. Rose led us into the office. Victory. They won an important victory today. Professional. Karen is a professional singer. Elect. They elected Ben as their class leader. Category. Comedy is a movie category. Well, don't you think soccer is such an exciting sport? I hope next time you get to cheer for your favorite soccer team. See you next time! Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny， 欢迎收看我们1分钟的单元。在这1分钟的时间里面，我们要复习4个单字，还会造句练习。同学们，您都准备好没？好，1分钟计时，开始。第一个单字是偷窃，这个字叫做 steal。动词三态是 steal, stole, stolen， 它是不规则变化，特别注意哦。好，那么如果在后面加上 ing 变 stealing， 这个名词就可以表达偷窃行为了。我们来造句 ：It wasn't Sam who stole the money， 钱不是 Sam 偷的。第二单字呢是便利商店，便利商店怎么说呢？叫做 convenience store。convenience store。There are 3 convenience stores in our neighborhood.In our neighborhood， 我们住的附近这个地区呢，有3间便利商店。第三单字是口袋，口袋怎么说呢？叫做 pocket。Mark put the keys in his pocket. Mark 把钥匙放进口袋。第四单字是皮包，通常是指女生用的皮包，这个字叫做 purse。Jenny bought her mom a purse as a birthday gift. Jenny 买了一个皮包送妈妈当生日礼物。好，太好啦！我们在1分钟之内轻轻松松复习完4个单词，也造完例句咯。同学们表现很棒诶，那我们下次见咯，拜拜。See you next time.